What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Q coming at you from the stash. Got last week's comics tonight. Thanks for checking me out again. Um, Back this week with everything we picked out. No, I'm a few days late. Sorry about that. Had a lot going on. Father-in-law had some back surgery. Been helping nurse him back to health, and been pretty busy this week. Happy to be back in the underground bunker with all my favorite things in this world. Keyword there, things. And let's talk about the comics that we picked up and read last week. First off, cannot say enough about this book. Anybody that might have skipped out on the Kang miniseries, go get it, man. This thing is straight fire. Love the book. My favorite Marvel book I've read since Beta Ray Bill. They just take Kang and make him a very real, personable character. Written by two artists or two writers on this book. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly are tag team in this book. They tell a fantastic story of a young Kang coming into himself as Kang the Conqueror, traveling through time and learning of figuring out time and his abilities to manipulate it and his place in all of it. And I just thought it was a fantastic book. Can't say enough. Art by Carlos Magno. Interiors absolutely incredible. Cannot recommend this book enough. Anybody who passed it, please go out and pick it up. You'll be doing yourself a favor. I think you'll be very happy with it. Next up, we got Way of X. This is Way of X number 5. Still loving this book. One of my favorite X-Men books at the moment. It's written by S.I. Spurrier. Art by Bob Quinn, no relation. Unfortunately, I can't be related to anybody famous. I don't know. Unfortunately, fortunately, it's probably better that I'm not. Better for them that I'm not, anyways. But yeah, we got Nightcrawler still trying to figure out, trying to battle Onslaught and keeping him from encroaching his way closer and closer into the X-Men's reality. And as you can tell by the cover here, it takes a lot out of Nightcrawler to continue to do so. He's very sacrificial in this issue, and gives up everything as far as teleporting a moon out of Mars orbit to save the planet and to save everyone that's now recolonized on Mars as far as mutants go. Great story. Still loving this book. Still love Onslaught. Think he's going to be a major player moving forward for the X-Men in their books and in the MCU whenever they show up. I think he's going to be a hot ticket and kind of a bridge between the X-Men and the rest of the Avengers and such, kind of how he was when he first showed up back in the Marvel universe back in the 90s. He was kind of this bridge between X-Men and the Heroes Reborn story and stuff. I think they're going to do something similar with that in the future. Next up, we got Nightwing number 83. Favorite DC book run right now? Well, it's pretty close tie between this and Robin. Absolutely love both those books. Nice House on the Lake. I don't consider that a DC book. That's more of an indie James Tynion, everything he touches turns to gold type thing. So, it's a DC book. But DC superhero book, Nightwing and Robin, those are my two favorite books right now. They're just fantastic. I got Tom Taylor telling this story. Nightwing, Dick Grayson has inherited all of Alfred Pennyworth's money. He's a billionaire now. Nobody knew Alfred was stashing away cash like that, and Alfred passes and Dick gets all the money. Dick doesn't know what to do with it. Now he's reinvesting it into Bloodhaven, becoming this gigantic philanthropist in Bloodhaven, kind of taking over the city as Dick Grayson, not necessarily as Nightwing. He's found his long lost sister that he didn't even know was there, who has been trying to take out crime families from the inside. He thinks she's dirty, working for the different crime families. There's a lot of nuance and a lot of different moving parts to this story that Tom Taylor's telling in Nightwing right now. Can't recommend it enough. Everybody should be reading this thing. Next up, got Barbarella number 2 with this beautiful Lucio Perillo cover. Absolutely gorgeous cover. And the story actually is pretty great. Sarah Hoyd is writing Barbarella right now. This is just her second issue on this specific story, and I'm enjoying it. Barbarella is a beautiful, compelling character. She goes through some loss and tragedy in this issue, and I'd recommend anybody reading it who's into some of these indie femme fatale characters. I thought it was a fantastic read, and we'll continue picking it up in the near future. Next up, we got Peach Momoka variant of Moon Knight #2. This book is interesting. Mark Spector is kind of playing this Bruce Wayne character. I say Bruce Wayne, kind of more Matt Murdock character. He's trying to protect his home city, and in this, there's this guy who's poisoning a sector of his city. It's a kind of like an elderly home. It's an apartment complex, so to say, and it's a janitor who can control people through toxins in his sweat, and he's poisoning the water system with toxins in his sweat, which is just really gross. No way to get around that. He's poisoning old folks with his sweat, and that's just nasty, right? No matter how you look at it. But it was a fun read. I'm enjoying the book. I'm going to stay on Moon Knight for a bit and see where this thing goes. This is definitely a different type of Moon Knight than what we've ever seen before in the Marvel Universe. So I'll stick with it for a bit and see where it goes. Art is done by Alessandro Capuccio. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize. I'm terrible with names. But it was an interesting read, and I enjoyed it. Next up, we got Guardians of the Galaxy #17 with his beautiful Brett Booth covers. Keep them coming, Brett Booth. Absolutely love his artwork on these covers. You've got Moondragon, Star-Lord, and Doctor Doom there, just looking absolutely incredible. And the story's not far behind that. The story's been great. Juan Freiger is doing the art on the inside, which is great. Al Ewing's writing it, and it's been an awesome read. Last Annihilation. I honestly started this book just a couple months ago when Al Ewing jumped on. I think it was issue 15. Also, I saw the preview that they were bringing the old Cable back to kind of tie up this story of the Last Annihilation. So I wanted to get in before it was over because I was definitely going to be picking that up. Super over this young Cable. Love the old Cable. Can't wait to get him back in the Marvel Universe. So it got me reading Guardians, and I've enjoyed it, So, and Brett Booth delivering on all fronts on those covers. Those covers are great. Next up, Sinister War #3. Sinister War #3 was much better than #2. Didn't care for issue #2 so much. Felt very disconnected. #3 felt like it was tying a bunch of these villains together. It was centered more on Spider-Man, less on the 37 other villains that were trying to kill him. And I enjoyed this. This is the Mark Bagley connecting cover. Can't wait to get all 4 of these and display them nicely. They're going to look great. But issue 3 was great, and this is all leading towards a big climax, I believe, in Amazing Spider-Man. As everybody probably knows by now, Peter Parker's on his way out, Ben Reilly's on his way in for a bit, and we'll see how that plays out. Next up, Superman Red and Blue, issue 6. This is the last issue to this 6-issue anthology series. All 6 issues have been mini stories involving our favorite superhero, and this cover's by Eastman from Ninja Turtles fame, and it's got a fantastic short story at the beginning about a lost cat, and it's kind of incredible. It's Superman and Supergirl's lost cat, and how cats have a way of finding their way home. It was pretty cool. Enjoyed this mini-series very much. Next up, we got The Edge #2. Shout out to Marvin Wynn, a fan favorite on Instagram, on his indie series that he's putting out, art by Mark V. I would compare this to a modern-day G.I. Joe, honestly. I love the characters in it. I love the storytelling in it. I'm having a good time with The Edge. I read The Edge #2 a while ago, actually, because I picked up my Just a Reek in His Comics variant, and that's what issue these were for. But just a shout out to a local getting off the pavement, hitting it, running, and knocking it out of the park with the edge. I'm really enjoying this story. If you're a fan of GI Joe, similar type stories, and I would highly suggest you check it out. And last but not least, this was actually a freebie from my online comic subscription. They threw in a Marjorie Finnegan Temporal Criminal #1. This is by Garth Ennis. This is actually was actually a fantastic read. Absolutely loved it. Garth Ennis, you can't go wrong if you like those dark, gritty stories. Dark Garth Ennis always delivers. Very cool universe he's exploring here with this criminal that can hop through different places in time. She starts out here in a burial ceremony for a pharaoh in Egypt, and she's just trying to loot the place, and it's pretty cool, you know. So that's how she gets by, is hitting these different stages in time, and you know, robbing them of their riches, and it's pretty cool. Very much in Garth Ennis's wheelhouse and his type of storytelling. Very graphic, but I loved it. So everybody, check this book out if you're old enough to read such graphic things. And that's it from last week. That's why I picked up. What did you guys pick up this week? What are you guys enjoying right now? Please hit me up in the comments. Leave me a message. Leave me some criticisms on the video. Quinn's Comic Stash is moving right along. Hopefully, I'm going to be signing a lease on my building within the next couple weeks. And going to have this underground bunker converted into an above-ground shop. So, you know, stay with me on this journey. I appreciate everybody checking this out. And take care. Be safe out there, guys.